Way. Now back to the fatal fire story. That fire broke out in the 3500 block of Abbott Street. It happened early Saturday. 7 children in that house were home alone. News Channel 15's Drew Blair has been following this story. She joins us in News Control tonight. Drew, what do DCS investigators hope to find?
Well, Mark, the Department of Child Services needs to know everything about life inside that house before Saturday's fire, as well as the events leading up to the weekend tragedy. This week, workers from the Department of Child Services are charged with the difficult task of investigating the deaths of 3 young children.
This is one of those situations, even when you've seen and heard of things happening before, it takes your breath away when the magnitude of this tragedy.
3 girls, ages 12, 10, and 7, died from smoke inhalation after a fire sparked in this home early Saturday morning. Another child was also seriously injured. 3 others got out okay. But all of the kids were left home alone, and investigators want to know why.
Speak with neighbors, relatives, etc., to try to determine basically the circumstances at the time, the manner in which the fatality occurred.
The DCS has one goal in mind:
to determine if there are siblings in the home, whether or not those siblings are still safe in the home.
Once the DCS wraps up its investigation, it will determine whether or not neglect or abuse was a factor in these deaths. That information will then be passed on to the prosecutor's office if charges are necessary.
When horrible things happen, sometimes we have to come in and second guess whether that was appropriate parenting and whether appropriate steps were taken to protect the children.
And the oldest child inside the home at the time of the fire was 12 years old. The number one question the DCS receives is, how old is old enough to stay home alone? Now, the state law does not have an age limit on this, and it's basically up to the parents to decide based on their own knowledge of their child's maturity. Reporting live from News Control, Drew Blair, News Channel 15.